every stone out here has two dates: the beginning and ending. The first breath, a final breath. And between these moments, a dash. So small, you could miss it. But that dash holds everything. The first cry, the first step, the first heartbreak, the first prayer, the mistakes nobody saw, the victories nobody applauded, the years of waiting, the days of wondering, the laughter, the grief, the love, the silence, the mess. The whole life inside a little mark between two dates. That's where you are. Not at the beginning or the end, but in the dash. In the messy middle. We think life should be a straight line. Clear, clean, mapped out. But most lives aren't like that. They bend. They break. On a road nobody planned. A road with detours. Chapters we wouldn't have written for ourselves. Ones with delays. Prayers that seem to be unanswered. Dreams that die quickly. Relationships that change. Seasons when faith doesn't feel alive. More like a candle trying to survive in the wind. And maybe that's why the Bible is so honest, with stories of unpolished lives, like Abraham waiting, Jacob wrestling, Joseph forgotten, Moses hidden in the wilderness, David weeping in caves, and Jesus himself sweating blood in a garden. God's not embarrassed by the messy middle. In fact, that's where his glory is revealed. Psalm 90 verse 12 says, "Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom." So we can stop dying and start living. So love, forgive, pray, begin. Say the thing that needs to be said. Do the thing that needs to be done. Lay down the burden that was never yours to carry. Because the dash, it's not waiting for perfection. The dash is happening now. Maybe your dash doesn't look the way you thought it would. You thought the grief would be gone. Your family would be whole. And the pain would make more sense. I know. It does hurt. But an unfinished life is not an abandoned life. A delayed promise is not a denied promise. A hard chapter is not the whole story. Philippians 1:6 says that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. God isn't hindered by what's unresolved in you. He's not confused. He's not standing at a distance, shaking his head. He is still working in that dash, especially in the dash. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." He is near you in the ache, near in the grief, near when your prayers are more like groans. And even if you have no words, he comes near. Romans 8 says the Spirit helps us in our weakness, that when we don't know what to pray, the Spirit intercedes with groans too deep for words. God is with you in the dash. This little line between two dates asks a question. What will you do with the breath you still have? Not the years you lost, the opportunities you missed, but today, this moment. Because as long as there is breath in your lungs, your dash is still being written. You're still alive. You can still bless someone, encourage someone. You can forgive. You can create. You can still say yes. Joel 2:25 says God can restore the years the locusts have eaten. He can take the wasted years and make them wise. He can take the broken years and offer healing. Nothing you place in his hands is beyond redemption. And that's the deepest hope. Jesus entered time. He entered flesh. He entered hunger. He entered betrayal. He entered death. John 11 tells us that Jesus stood near a tomb and wept. The resurrection and the life stood in front of a grave and cried. I think he understands this place. I think he knows what you're going through, what loss feels like, the silence after death, the ache of separation. In Jesus, death doesn't get the final word. He said in John 11:25, "I am the resurrection and the life." He brings dead things back to life, the faith back, the joy back. Welcome to the dash. This is where life happens. Your life happens here, and your life matters. You are still here. Breath in your lungs. Grace for the journey. So offer yourself. Surrender yourself. And let God. Because this is the dash.